Good. We on that now. We on that. But welcome everybody. We got a great show lined up for you. We'll be going on the air as soon as Handyman brings us up. We got a lot of wonderful guests from all over Central Mississippi, and we got a special guest all the way from the Zulu tribe in South Africa. Mr. Richard Mombasa is back in the studio. And to all those over in South Africa who tune in to us on Wednesdays, we love you, we appreciate you, and we look forward to offering you a great show. I see y'all are hitting me already. To all our regular listeners, go ahead and put a heart sign up there. All of our newcomers, go ahead and put a thumbs up. Go ahead and share and like the video so that we can get the entire audience in. Yeah. We're going to give away some free tickets to Cheryl Underwood's Live and Uncut at Next Level Entertainment Complex next weekend. We had Adina Howard there last week with the, what was it, the one night stand?
Yeah.
I can't be in no one night stand. I'm doing good. Doing good. Y'all pray for me. It's a day by day process. God still got a lot of work to do with me. Help me, Jesus.
Please, Lord, don't take your hand off the plow. You might cut down the video.
Hey, sister, you turn it just a little bit back this way. I can't see Rose. There we go.
You don't want to go through that again?
We got to work through this process. It's a process, you know. You know, the distance from my seat to the altar seems so far. You be talking to me. Yeah. And we're going to give an update at the end of the show about the council meeting last night. Y'all know what happened and you know I was pissed. But it's going to be okay. Yeah. Woo, we got a lot of time. We need an hour and a half. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Reviving Mississippi Show. I'm your host, Dekeither Stamps. We got our co-host here, Mr. Mac Epps. How you doing today, Mac?
Man, I'm doing good, brother. Doing good. How's everything with you?
Brother, I'm back from D.C. and I'm feeling pretty good. Last week, I heard you had a good week. How'd your one night stand go?
The concert went well. You make sure we rephrase that and the language of the title of the concert. It was very well attended. Everybody had a good time. It was great fun. One of the things we want to do for the city of Jackson is bring good entertainment. So we got some other stuff coming up. We're gonna talk about.
You know, you and your wife are wonderful folks, and putting on good entertainment with the likes of Miss Adina Howard is always a special treat for the citizens of Jackson. We appreciate all your hard work in providing that entertainment last weekend. I want to start the show off by first and foremost saying happy birthday to my grandmother, Miss Grace Sturgis, down in Crystal Springs, Mississippi. Today is her birthday. I love you dearly, grandmama, and I'll see you soon.
Well, you know what? This Saturday is my wife's birthday.
Happy birthday.
So we got a lot of birthdays in March. We need to do some combined cookouts.
It's a cookout.
Yeah.
You know, that means some folks be getting busy around August. Well, August must be a holiday.
Yeah. Look, it's something we did.
I love you, grandmama, and happy birthday to you, and God bless. And we're looking forward to many, many more wonderful birthdays.
All right.
So to everybody down around Crystal Springs and Experimentation Road, Pops, look out your front door and tell my grandmama happy birthday. All right, have a good day, grandma.
Probably whoop half the folks out there on the street.
Hey, you know, hope it's good. But it'll be okay. Like I said, ladies and gentlemen, we have a great show lined up for you. A lot of events going on in the city, a lot of things going on outside the city. So we're going to keep you abreast on as many as we can in this 58 minutes we left.
58 minutes.
58 minutes to go.
We need more time.
Well, first and foremost, ladies and gentlemen, our first guest is Dr. Rosa Payton. She's no stranger to the show. She's been here several times before. She is the education advisor at Trace Pathways Farms. She comes here every year helping us to facilitate the thousands of young people who come down to Stamps Farms to learn about farming. But today she's here to talk about another event. Welcome to the show, Dr. Payton, and tell us what you got in store for the people today.
Thank you, Dekeither, and I'm just excited to be here. I am here on another event that we're having. I'm here on behalf of Alpha Kappa Alpha Incorporated, Rolanda Omega chapter. And we are partnering with Jackson Area Federal Credit Union to present a community shredded day.
Okay.
So we want to invite all of the community, anyone, if you have documents that's personal, that you, when I retired, I still have papers stacked up and that I didn't want to throw in the garbage. But we're gonna have a big shredded truck out there, and we want the community to come out and bring, you can bring 2 big bags of your documents that you want shredded, and I think that's a really good thing.
Yeah.
We're going to do this March 25th, this Saturday, from 8 until 12. And we will be at the Jackson Area Federal Credit Union on Highway 18.
Right in the heart of Ward 4. So when you come
That's
down
right.
Highway
That's the
18,
Dekeither's Ward.
come on down to the right, Jackson Area Federal Credit Union. They've done it before. This is not the first time that we've had this
Right,
event.
we do this every year.
So come on down, bring your documents. You know, identity theft is one of the most treacherous things that's going on today.
Correct.
People are stealing folks' identity out of the trash and other places like that. So it's a safe way for you to secure your identity, and so get all your stuff together. So the event will be March 25th. That's this Saturday from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. at the Jackson Area Federal Credit Union at 5675 Highway 18 West, Jackson, Mississippi. You can shred confidential documents and papers that you don't want to discard in the trash. There's a limit of 2 trash bags per person. And the things that are not acceptable for shredding: 3-ring binders, hardcover, ledger books, floppy disks, VHS tapes, hard drives, microfiche, and X-rays, and thumb drives and plastic. Just paper. Just bring the paper.
That's correct, it's paper.
So, so how many years is this for this event, Dr. Payton?
This is the fourth year for this event.
Also.
Right, we are under the environmental ownerships, launching new dimensions of service in Alpha Kappa Alpha, and we, Betty Rice and me, Rosie Payton, we're the chairman this year. And this is our first time chairing this committee, so we want to have a lot of people to come out. We are counting those acts of green. We are serving as green agents to help to educate the community about having a clean environment. So that's what we'll be doing all year. So we'll be back with something else.
Good. I'm waiting for it. You know, Alpha Kappa definitely serves a lot. You know, I want to definitely open the charge up to some other fraternities and sororities who need to step up to the plate. And I see, you know, Phi Beta Sigma all the time.
There you go. He keep on. He gonna keep on. He gonna end up in that answer room.
I see Alpha Kappa Alpha. I see the Zetas. You know, I see the Kappas out there. So we definitely got to make sure that other folks are involved. We got a caller. Hello, caller. Welcome to the show. What's your question or comment?
Yes, my comment is this, that organizations and fraternities and sororities have been very bushy, and they have not really addressed the concerns of the community, but more or less being middle-class party people. I would like to challenge the person that's on the air now and talking about various things. We have a community that embraces love and community. So, Mr. Sams, would you talk about that community that embraces love and community? If I got a piece of bread, I would share it with you. If I know a job that's available, I would try to get that job to you. See, we got bourgeois, and when I say bourgeois blacks, that don't really understand the struggle of poor people. And I think that we need to stop talking about, oh, we don't have this and that. F that. Do things that the people want you to do that will show love and unity in the community.
Okay. Thank you very much, Ms. Beth. And she raises a great point. We have to communicate and network a little more with folks outside of our network. So, and what she's bringing up is the point that there's a grassroots community that doesn't have access to a lot of opportunities. So as we get access and hear of job openings and opportunities out there, let's share those things. And that's what this space is for here at Revive Mississippi, is to bring folks together so that we can, let folks know about different opportunities that are out there. So there are opportunities all over the place, but we got to get back to steering those opportunities to the folks who need them the most. So next week we're gonna have a show, a segment of the show. Call in if you know of an opportunity. Call in and give it to us. Actually, you can call it all week long. Call the office. If you know of an opportunity, was a job opening or a position or something like that, call us. Call the office. 601-960-2052. You can text it to us, email us, and we'll read them off. We'll start reading them off every week. We'll make a space on the show just so folks can know and hear about different opportunities that are out there. But this is an opportunity this weekend to secure your identity.
That's right.
So you got all those papers and stuff. Give the information again, Dr. Payton.
It will be at the Jackson Area Federal Credit Union on Highway 18, 5675 Highway 18 West. And we just look forward to you coming out.
Okay, well, we'll see you Saturday morning, bright and early.
All right, and thank you so much for your time.
You got some orange juice and donuts out there?
Some orange juice and donuts? Oh, yes.
Well, great.
Sure, we always have that.
You know I love some sweets. Thank y'all for coming on the
All
show.
right.
Okay. All right, next guest we have someone who is no stranger, or at least her father is no stranger to the work that's been done right here at this radio station. Miss Ashley Norwood is coming to update us on some of the work that she's doing in the community and a couple of projects she has coming up.
Now, this sister right here is one of our gems of Jackson.
Oh, yes, yes,
She
sir,
has
yes,
been
sir.
working hard for some time, and you got a lot going on. So tell us everything you got going on there.
What you got right there is for you to take home to your wife.
Okay, I got you.
But thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. Mr. Dekeither Stamps. So recently, as of the end of last year, I launched my own business, FG Media Productions LLC. Prior to that, I'll be celebrating a year now that I produced a film called The Fly and the Buttermilk. And since that time, I have been inspired to turn that one film into a documentary series. So the first film basically looked at the history, the principles, and perceptions of Black Greek letter organizations at Ole Miss.
Right.
And I was there during my master's program, and it's crazy because the idea for the story happened between sort of an altercation between a friend of mine and a white sorority girl on campus. And I realized that there was an unlearned population, and there was history that was not told at the university. And from there, I produced a film that has been nationally recognized, and I'm very proud of it.
That's why I said you one of the gems of Jackson.
That's why?
Yeah.
Oh, I appreciate that.
You are. I mean, we have to start celebrating you and others like you and the efforts that you're making, because you're making strides, and people around the country are hearing about it. But people right here in Jackson don't even know.
Right.
So if somebody wants to view the documentary, are you selling DVDs? How exactly can they access the media?
Sure. So right now, I'm getting adjusted back in Jackson, and I'm trying to spread my wings and network, because I realize, no matter how many degrees that I attain or whatever skill set that I have, networking is very, very valuable. And so starts this weekend, I'll be having a fundraiser event. We're close to capacity on the amount of people that are coming. However, if you would like to view the film, or you have any questions about the film and the documentary series that will follow, or if you would like to donate, because these things take a lot of money, please visit fgmediaproductions.com.
Okay. Imagine a question.
Yeah. So if people wanted to come and view it, like, what's the cost associated?
It's free.
It's free?
Yes. So this Saturday at the Planetarium downtown,
Right.
starting at 7 o'clock, I will be screening the film. It's
Okay.
a part of the event. So we're reaching a capacity of about 190. So, but if anyone comes, they're welcome to sit in on the screening portion. And
Okay.
again, it'll be at the Planetarium at 7 o'clock.
Okay, so are you looking at finding various locations to go show the film at, and are you looking for donations to help, they donate to you to help with the cost of putting it together? What would you need to put the event on?
Absolutely. So, well, to continue to raise awareness about the film and the documentary series that will follow, what I've been doing is screening and lecturing across the nation. So I've been to Hawaii in the past couple months, DC, New York, and these are all places that a young girl from West Jackson never thought she would be.
That's right.
Let
That's
alone
right.
with the film that she produced and edited by herself. So I'm very humbled by the experience, but traveling to these places, not only am I raising awareness about the documentary, but I'm learning of other people's experience.
So tell us a little bit about the reception you received all across the world by the piece of art that you put together here in Jackson.
Sure. So, so the film features the Black Greeks at Ole Miss.
Right.
And as we know, the history, the daunting past of Ole Miss as far as race relations, Black Greeks, they're a small population, but it's a feeling of belonging. So when I travel to places like Hawaii, which on this entire island you have about as many Black people that might attend a university, it's a lot different. Or when I travel to Washington, D.C., and I'm sitting in a conference for minority Greeks that aren't just Black, you have Asians that also feel like that little speck of color in predominantly white world. So it's interesting to hear the ideas of other people and the experience that they have, because I didn't have that experience at a predominantly white institution. I was at Jackson State.
We know we actually had discussions about that. We actually talked about the different protocols that have been put in place for historical Black Greek organizations. The difference in that in the historical white Greek organizations.
Right.
You know, they've pretty much been doing what they've been doing forever.
Yeah.
And the circumstances have not changed. The policies, the procedures, the laws, nothing has changed. They keep doing what they're doing, but for what organizations like the Black organizations have been scrutinized, and a lot of times by your own folks, you know, about what they should be doing for the process, lawsuits, different things like that. But the thing is, the same things are happening in their organizations, but they are not held to the same type of criteria for punishment, which we see reflected in the normal world.
Yes.
Because predominantly, majority of folks that go to these schools, working class, or some of us below working class.
Wow.
You know, for our parents that go to the organizations, and you learn about Greek organizations, a way of networking, brotherhood. Especially like brothers, we got brothers that come from Chicago that, you know, didn't have that type of brotherhood, and they're looking for someone to reach out to them to help them when they don't have anything to eat.
Yeah.
So that's the type of brotherhood we had. But looking at the other side, the white Greek organization is totally different. It's like Animal House.
It is different.
You know,
Animal House was before my time, but
well, yeah. You know, but that's a film you watch if you're in a fraternity.
Yeah.
You watch School Days and Animal House.
Right. So privilege is real. It's definitely real with white people and with white Greeks from what I've seen and what I've researched. But one thing that I want us as in Black people to understand is that even though we have these organizations, they're comprised of society members. So issues that we have within our own society,
Right.
our own neighborhoods, they will trickle into these organizations.
Right.
That's
what
who we
happens.
are. So it doesn't mean that these are necessarily a Black Greek thing, or, you know, we're elitist or stuck up or we're not doing the work, because the work is being done.
Right.
But I mean, what attracts different people is what attracts different people.
Right. And that's what you say, you know, people respond and listen to what they want. But they are a lot, and that's one thing we talk about all the time. We need more of the folks to get out there, especially those folks that are in Greek organizations, because we tell people the average man's put here to serve.
Yeah.
So if you take upon yourself to join an organization, then you are at a pedestal to a point where you should be the one that go first. So if something is going wrong in your community, or something is going wrong in the area where you live at, you should be the one to respond first. And that's why I always continue to use the term pledging your loyalties to the principles.
Yeah.
And that it's not the process in which you go through, it's the principles that you pledge your loyalty to.
You know, so again, give us the information about the video, about the filming and the showing of the movie, so that people can participate.
Sure. So right now the film is again available at F as in friend, G as in ghost, that's random, but fgmediaproductions.com. And that is my business. What as far as soliciting my services and my skills, I've been invited to different classrooms, whether it's on a college campus or in high school. If you have students who are interested in filmmaking, I am an independent filmmaker. And so if you ever want to screen the film at your school or in your community groups or with your mentoring groups, just to have the discussion about race relations and about college and the realities of attending a predominantly white institution, then you can contact me at dekeitherproductions.com. There's a contact link there. The video is there for your viewing
Mhm.
opportunity as well. And there is also an option for you to donate. Like I said, this is a documentary series, so what I want to do is continue to talk about minority experiences because it's all about education.
Mhm.
We're now in this information age where everybody wants to know more, and the easiest way is to bring it right to your living room. So
That's
let me
right.
create a film that will benefit all of society. And so your donation will go specifically to the production of the next film, which this weekend I'll be releasing what the subject will be about. And I'll be glad to come back and talk about it.
We can't wait till the weekend now.
Right, right.
Drop no
You
bombs,
at least
man.
tell us, like, what's the name of the film?
The name of the film will be the subject, so I can't tell you.
Oh man! So that means you got to come out.
All right, so we got to come out.
All right, all right.
We got to come out Saturday at 7 p.m. to participate because this is the kind of activity that can spur a whole generation.
Mm.
You know, Spike Lee was just Spike Lee until he started raising money and making films and telling our story as a reflection of us to the greater world.
Right.
This is what I see right here before us today, is a young Spike Lee who is working, crowdsourcing funds
Mhm.
to produce our own narrative, to tell our story.
Yeah.
You know, I want to see you do the right thing, but Jackson 17 type
2017, 2018, do the right thing.
So those stories are out there
Yeah.
and can change and open up opportunities for folks. Spike Lee opened up opportunities for folks when black folks weren't able to get opportunities.
Right.
Right? You know, all those folks from Denzel Washington, Wesley Snipes, and all of them came through Spike Lee because they didn't have opportunities
You're right about
in
that.
the greater, and the same thing's happening right now. Most of the minority actors are from Europe.
Yeah.
They're not African Americans. You see your Idris Elbas and
And
your
ain't
folks.
no women either.
And not women either, right? So we have to work hard to open up opportunities for folks who never would have opportunities. So I think this is a great opportunity for us to reach down, go down to the grassroots level, and get some folks engaged in some things that are not the norm, but great opportunities. Because entertainment and filmmaking is not just for the viewing; it's for our wealth creation.
It is.
And we must use it in such a way. So thank you very much, dear. We really
Thank you.
appreciate you.
I appreciate
Tell your dad I said I know he's busy down there.
He working
He's
hard.
catching it down there. But the session will be over in a few weeks, and you'll have your dad back.
Praise God.
Well, thanks again, dear. We'll see you Saturday evening.
All right.
All right. And the topic for tonight, we were talking about economics, education, and we were talking about also getting updates from the council meeting and also updates from DC trip. So the next person we have, is Miss Dekeither.
Okay, come on up, dear.
We're talking about economics and supporting black-owned businesses in the city of Jackson. And the next person we have is a sister that has her own snack shop right
Now,
now
you know I love
downtown.
sweets. Now you know I'm the cookie. My daughter calls me the Cookie Monster.
Look,
I love it.
and she is in a great location, and she was just saying how we can get more brothers and more folks to come support. And I talked about Jackson Black Pages and the opportunity to talk about her business and where it's located.
Okay.
So there you go.
So tell us about your business. How long you been in business?
Okay, I've been in, well, actually, I just had my anniversary this past October, so we've been there a year and some months. It's actually a convenience store. It's a little snack shop where you can come and get your everyday needs as far as from coffee to newspapers to your essentials for the night, your beer, cigarettes, whatever. We sell everything. And we finna get ready to open up the kitchen where we'll be doing short orders. We'll be having our famous bologna sandwiches. We have the boiled peanuts with the sausages. You know, we're doing something different.
Give us your address.
It's 205 West Capitol Street,
Okay, 205 West Capitol. And what's the name of the shop?
downtown snack shop.
Downtown Snack Shop. All right. So what's your hours of operation?
8 a.m. to 10 p.m.
Oh, no, 8 to 10.
Yes.
All right, now, so
Well, you see, we have people that live downtown, so
Right.
we have to be there for them.
Okay.
Yeah.
So give us a point of reference. Folks might not know where the address is, but they may know a point of reference of where you are. What are you
We're
close
right
to?
next door to the Hilton Hotel. You can't miss us.
Right next to the King.
Right
Albert.
in between Mayflower and the King Albert.
Oh, okay.
Right at that light.
Yeah.
What is that
At the
light?
corner.
Is Capitol and Roach Street.
Capitol Road.
Well, good.
Yeah, we're right next door to the Mayflower.
So if you're out at the King Edward, if you're out downtown throughout the day, I'm gonna definitely stop by. I try not to go downtown that much, but when I do, I definitely swing through that way and pick up some lunch. Now, you're gonna have boiled peanuts in short order. So that's right
Famous
on
boiled peanuts with the sausages.
famous boiled peanuts with the. Is it a name for that dish?
No.
If I come there and like it, you're gonna name it the Dekeither Stamp
Yes.
Special? Okay.
Now we do have a 9-5 for our chicken on the sticks. It's called Chico Sticks. So I can't wait for y'all.
Now, I do chicken.
Better taste
Now,
it.
is it better than Evers next
Oh,
week?
don't start.
Chico
Don't
stick.
start.
Chico
Now,
stick.
Mr. Evers has a chicken on the stick that's 2 feet
He
long.
has a chicken on the stick. It's
Okay.
Chico Stick.
Okay, Chico stick. All right, now I'm gonna hold you to it. So give the your name, your location again, and the times of operation.
Okay. We're located at 205 West Capitol Street, downtown Jackson. The name of our business is Downtown Snack Shop, and we're open Monday through Saturday from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m.
Okay. Well, we appreciate you, dear. Thanks for coming by
I
the
appreciate
show.
y'all.
All
Thank
right.
you so
All right,
much.
if y'all on Facebook, make sure y'all go in and find her page.
Don't see me.
All right. Thanks a lot, dear.
Thank you.
All right. And while we keep staying on track with economics and entrepreneurship, we have a man that's coming to the mic now that is doing big things for the city of Jackson. The brother is not only doing big things for an area that has been blighted we actually almost made a food desert because they lost his grocery store. He stepped in and come into play. And Councilman Stamps, I know you've been working closely with the brother, so you can introduce your guests.
You know, when the Krogers abandoned South Jackson because they didn't want South Jackson's money anymore, it wasn't because they were making money. They just didn't want that money, right? So we fought through a couple battles, and the first step was trying to ensure that Kroger's didn't put something on the deed so that it couldn't be a grocery store in the future. So we were able to get through that hurdle, and that was a major hurdle because if a grocery store leaves, but they put a deed restriction on the property that makes it so that it can't be a grocery store again, similar to what happens when a Sam's Club leaves or a Walmart and stuff like that. You know, that was a major hurdle first. When we were able to get beyond that, and I appreciate the folks from Kroger for being willing to work with us, and they have been, you know, amenable to several of the issues that have popped up since they left that location. But it opened the door up for Mr. Greg Price and Jackson Cash and Carry to step in. They're the only black-owned grocery store in town right now, and now he's made a huge investment in the people of Jackson. He didn't just invest in a building. He invested in the people of Jackson to provide a space and place to have a full-service grocery store. So, Mr. Price, welcome to the show. Tell us a little bit about what we can expect from this grocery store in South Jackson on Terry Road.
Thank you, first of all, for having me. My brother and I, we have acquired the old Kroger on Terry Road, and the last 3 months we've been in the process of rehabbing the building, and that process is complete. And we are stocking the store and should be ready for our operation. We had hoped to have a soft opening this Friday, but because of some small issues, equipment arriving on time and otherwise, it's probably going to be Monday before we're able to open it up to the public. We intend to provide good customer service, and it will be a full-service grocery store with fresh produce, to where we're seeking to sell as much local produce as possible. We'll have a full-service meat department. In fact, we are also going to reinvent the Pick 5 program. Years ago, a partner of mine and myself, we created Pick 5, and it took off and it went nationwide. The new Pick 5 that we have, it will be one that is priced at $29.99, and that program was first instituted to where a family of 4 could feed their family meat for a week for $19.99. But because of the price of commodities now, we had to raise the price, but it will be a true, genuine Pick 5.
It won't be a slim portion Pick 5. It'll be a real portion where you can feed a family of 5.
A family of 4
for
for 5 days. And you won't be able to come in and see the bottom of the packages just as you're able to see in some of the other grocery stores around town now.
Okay, so you've made a huge investment in this, and at first I want to say thank you for investing in the people of Jackson, because when Kroger's left, you had folks out there marching and, you know, trying to get Kroger's to stay and all that. But what you have created is an economic opportunity for everyone to share in the economic and also sell their products and things in the store as long as they meet certain, you know, specifications and inventory type things and have the proper, codes and licensures and things. So, so talk about, that piece of the operation, because it's going to be more than just a grocery store.
Absolutely, it will be. I've been working with you, Councilman Stamps, for some time, and we've come up with a program that we call the Purple Chef Program. And this is where local people who produce their products, we're going to allow them to sell it in the store as long as they meet certain criteria. You know, we'll have to have insurance on your product once it's in there. You'll have to have your own liability insurance, but you'll stop by and see us, and we'll discuss it and let you know what the program's all about.
Okay, let's catch this caller. Hello, caller. Welcome to the show. What's your question or comment?
How you doing?
Hello, you're live on the air.
Right. Yeah, Mr. Bryce, welcome to the neighborhood.
Well, thank you, sir. We're very proud and happy to be there.
Okay, let me, are you going to still have your deli like you had the other place?
This deli, we're going to step it up another notch, and you know how good our other deli was, and I'm sure you'll be very pleased with this deli. We'll have a bakery and also decorate cakes and the whole 9 yards.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah, then, like I said, that sounds good, and like I said, I'm looking forward to it and everything, and you say you're going to try to get kicked off probably Monday?
Yes, sir. We're going to open softly on Monday, and about May, we're planning on a good big grand opening with live entertainment and space jumps and stuff for the kids and all of the good hoopla.
Okay, you going to have security around it?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Okay, that's good news.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Mm-hmm.
And, this is, again, a great opportunity for South Jackson to move forward. And you've embraced the community in this process. A soft opening, just so those people who understand, a soft opening is really to get your employees in there, get them trained up, and starting to get the internal processes working. So when you have your grand opening and you really do that big push, you're already prepared. So it's an embryo, and we got to birth it to a baby and grow it on up.
Absolutely.
And Walgreens and Kroger didn't start from with thousands of stores. They started with one store, a fraction of the size of the ones they have now. And over time, it built up slowly. Let's catch this caller. Hello, caller. Welcome to the show. What's your question or comment? Turn your radio down, caller.
Once you get your opening up in May, what will be your hours of operation? I stay in South Jackson.
We will be open on Monday through Saturday from 6 o'clock in the morning until 9 at night. We open it up at 6 o'clock in the morning so you can get your breakfast on the way to work.
All right, thank you.
Sundays it'll be from 8 until 8.
All right. So, and I know we missed a couple of callers, so definitely call back in, callers, if you want to call back in. But this is a great opportunity for the community to grow with us. It's a great opportunity for South Jackson to be in part of their own wealth creation. There are roughly 70,000 people who live below Highway 80. Let's get this next call. Hello, caller. Welcome to the show. What's your question or comment?
Yes, Councilman Sam. We got to talk to the grassroots. Now, it's good that we're talking about Walgreens and other stores, but there are so many people that live in Ward 4 that need jobs as bus drivers. They need jobs as maids. They need jobs in areas that we are not addressing. Now, it's good to be busy, that's fine, but I don't think that people that work in the motels, the people that we don't consider as being bougie, they don't understand certain procedures. But they do understand, hey, if I got a job and they need somebody else, I'm going to make sure my get that, because I'm going to tell Mr. John and Mr. Johnny, that they are good workers and I can vouch for them. These are the people that need jobs. These are the people that are getting jobs because they have friends that understand them. They're not bougie. Listen to me. We can have all these bougie programs, talk about this and talk about that, but the grassroots people know how to get jobs, and we need to be focusing on that and networking on that. Now, you talk high class, but you got to get low class, because a lot of these people do not have the education and the credentials that you want, but they'll get out there and they'll work their tails off to make sure that they get money that can take care of their families.
Okay. Thanks a lot, Ms. Bifford. And, you know, I see this as an opportunity for the grassroots to make money. See, a job just means just over broke. I want to give you an opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
We got folks all over West Side and Grove Park and Bel Air and Queens and who make stuff, who can produce products, bake cakes and pies and all those types of things. I'm trying to give them opportunity to put those things in the grocery store and start to move that product and grow it, so that they can have, you know, Patty LaBelle got some pies out there, but there's some folks over in the cell that make some pies too. You know, and I want to sell those pies in the grocery store.
We don't want to talk about that because we had to leave more than
right. You know, I want to give folks the opportunity who never had the opportunity to put their products in the grocery store. That's what we focus on. We focus. This Purpose Health program is about the grassroots folks, the folks who don't have the thousands of dollars to get your stuff in a Walmart.
Yeah.
Right? The folks who need opportunity. So this is exactly who we're talking about. You dead on it, Ms. Benford. Hello, caller. Welcome to the show. What's your question or comment?
Oh, hi, Councilman Sam. How you doing?
Hey, Brother Jesse.
Okay. Yeah, a lot of good topics you discussed today. I see you got your fingertips on the pulse of the city. I got a couple of questions, if you would. I see the broadcast about the street over there that was closed, Walker as well.
Right.
And, you know, the way it was closed and everything, I didn't see the mayor give an explanation or a press release or nothing why it was done in the first place. And also, we never got an explanation about the $6 million shortfall. You know, I mean, this transparency this administration was promising when they came in, you know, just like the water meter, it's not existence, you know, but could you expound on those just a little bit?
All right, when we get done with our guests, Brother Spencer, we will. Thanks. All right, can you get another call? Send it through, man. Hello, caller. Welcome to the show.
How you doing, Councilman Stamps?
Hey, Malcolm.
I want to commend you for bringing this brother on the show and doing something in the South Jackson community. And I also want to address that. I want to thank you for voting to help with the J-Train situation. We got 4 new buses, so people talking about we need bus drivers for jobs. We got buses, so they need to go apply for a job.
That's right.
It's easy. Get some CDL, get some bus license, and y'all got the job. You and the council voted, y'all bought several new buses, so when people call, and I need a maid at the house, so if somebody needs a maid, I can hire them. But I want to commend the brother on the show that's going to do something in the community, because we all know that it takes people to work together, and that's what it's about. Let me say one more thing, too. And also, on May the 2nd, I want the people in South Jackson to remember 3 things. Ward 3, remember Stokes. Ward 4, remember Stamps. Ward 6, remember Slough. SSS. Thank you very much.
All right, so give us the time, date, location of your event on Monday. One more time before you go.
Okay, we'll be soft opening on this coming Monday, and on May the 6th, we'll have our grand opening.
Okay. Well, thanks.
And indeed, we plan to give our customers in South Jackson, the very best customer service and products at a price that is very competitive with everyone else, and an opportunity for us all to grow together.
Well, Mr. Price, thank you very much. We really appreciate you coming on the show.
I thank you for having me.
Next up, we got a brother, Mr. Richard Mombasa, who's come all the way from the Zulu tribe in South Africa to be a part of us. They sit up on Wednesday nights at 2 o'clock in the morning and tune in to Reviving Mississippi in Africa, and he's come here again. This is the second time on the show, coming here live. So first off, hello to all of our viewers and listeners from around the world who have tuned in to us. And you're here to talk about the Trek for Mandela. So you got some climbers to come climb Mount Kilimanjaro. So talk about how the Care for Girls program has been growing and where we are today.
Well, thank you very much once again for having me. It's exciting, you know. I'm feeling like, you know, it's starting to feel like I'm home when I'm here. So, and also greetings to all the listeners. The Caring for Girls program has been growing super fast since we were here last year. It has been amazing in a sense that we've now grown to over 350,000 girls. So,
wow.
Which means that we are slowly approaching our 2 million girls by
wow.
the year 2020. But I think I must also, you know, acknowledge the work that Ms. Charlene Price has put into this.
That's right.
You know, having to go do extra jobs to make sure that I come here in the first place. And what I witnessed from yesterday since I got here, it has been amazing, because now not only that Caring for Girls and Trek for Mandela is about, you know, it's about Africa or helping girls in South Africa, but today the kind of conversations we are having with different role players or stakeholders is that we're getting a sense that there's a need to create a partnership.
That's right.
So how we can work together. And for us, Caring for Girls, the one mission that we have is to make sure that young girls get sanitary napkins so that they can stay in school, because for those who are not aware, in South Africa we have girls who are missing days of school, between 3 and 7 days of school every day, every month when they are in their period. And if you calculate the total number of days per year, it's like over 50 days. And if you multiply that by their years of high school, it's over 300 days, which might mean, you know, almost a year of.
Right. And this is another way that, you know, supremacy, you know, degrades women.
Yeah.
And degrades the growth and development of women.
Absolutely.
And so, you know, some things we take for granted here. Right?
Yeah.
You know,
Yes.
I've gone to Walmart many nights in the middle of the night. I got 3 daughters, you know, so I've gone to Walmart plenty of nights to go pick up things for them. But other places don't have that luxury.
Yeah.
So programs like yours open doors for women, and I do want to say a thank you to Ms. Price and all the other business owners who have stepped up to the plate to help in this endeavor, because you definitely open doors for folks who need it the most. We talking about the grassroots folks. We talking about the same supremacy that's being fought over in South Africa being fought right here in Jackson City, and that's what I see in our connectivity over the years that we've been connected. Thank you for the Mandela picture. It's sitting right in the front of our community center that you brought last time. I see you got a guest here, Mr. David Archer, no stranger to what we got going on in Jackson, Mississippi. Welcome to the show, Mr. Archer.
And the councilman stamps, I appreciate the opportunity. Mr. Mombasa is a man of integrity. This is my first time meeting him, of course, but we have dialogued through text and email, and many nights have stayed up late, and I think it's early in the morning over in South Africa. Is that correct?
Yeah.
To talk about what it is that needs to be done. And I think the most important thing that he ever said was the fact that Mississippi and South Africa are able to build a relationship.
That's right.
And the type of relationship is helping those that cannot help themselves.
That's right.
And of course, here in Mississippi, we have plenty of people here in Jackson and the surrounding area of Mississippi cannot help themselves. And so when Ms. Price brought this to my attention, and we have set up many nights to talk about these issues of the young ladies needing sanitary napkins over in South Africa. And it only takes $36 a year to fund one young lady for an entire year,
That's right.
providing the things that they need. And man, it went so well today, it's almost unbelievable. We took Mr. Mabasa to Tougaloo College today, and I guess he can expand on exactly the conversation that we had with Dr. Hogan over at Tougaloo College to tell you how accepted she was to the fact that we're trying to do something, and that Tougaloo College is going to work with us in terms of helping these young ladies as well.
We got
Go ahead
a
and take the
caller.
call.
Hello, caller. Welcome to the show. What's your question or comment?
Yes, David, you're there. And as I've said to people all over, that you are an elected official with a municipal committee person. Okay, that is an honor, and I want to salute you. But when we have immigrants to come into this country, they identify with the people in power. When they don't connect with the people in power, and the people in power show them that, hey, we aren't thinking about you, they come into the black community. David, I know you're for real, and you're going to talk about this stuff. You won't cover it up. But what can we do as African Americans to tell those immigrants, hey, we are here. You are going into the other community, identifying with them, but when you get rejected, you come to us. What do we do about that, David? That's what I'm asking you, because I know you're going to tell us like it is.
Absolutely, and thank you, Ms. Benford, for bringing that out. And that is something that we have already discussed to the point that this is a grassroots, going to be a grassroots organization working from the bottom up and not from the top down.
That's right.
In terms of to send a clear-cut message. The idea of bringing Nelson Mandela's wife to Mississippi here to Jackson, I think that is going to be one of the biggest things that we can do. But she would know in the beginning that this was a grassroots organization, and it's not a state or a government organization that got this done. Yeah. So we'll be working from the grassroots perspective, and I'll let him expound on it.
And also for me, I think from last year when I came here, we spoke a lot about oppression and about the history of our countries. And I'm reminded of one of our struggle heroes. One of his quotes when he said something like, the most potent weapon of the oppressor is the mind of the oppressed.
Correct.
So I think sometimes we need to understand that there are certain things that we because of our past, they will continue. I mean, I'm just speaking now on behalf of on a South African perspective, the issue of the immigrants, and it's not an overnight issue. You cannot solve it like overnight, but we need to engage, we need to discuss, we need to work together. But at the same time, we need to, I've been sitting here from 6 o'clock, I'm listening to different people who are doing amazing things here. And it's all about how can we work together to try and drive the agenda, which in my case is the education of the girl child. And like Mr. Archie was saying earlier, when today we had meetings, I'm now getting exposed to some of the challenges that are here. And then we need to then look at how can we use what we've learned or experienced in South Africa to help you achieve what you have not achieved, and vice versa. So I think Mr. Archie was touching on a very important point, that I think one of the very exciting meetings we had this afternoon was meeting Dr. Hogan. And I can say that this year, we're hoping for this to start this year, but we've sort of reached an agreement of some kind. I mean, it's still verbal. We still need to go through the processes of, doing the memorandum of agreements. but we're getting 10 girls from South Africa who are going to come to America, but come to Mississippi. Because my issue is, yeah, they're going to come for 2 weeks. Because my issue is, you have black girls who are growing in rural areas, and when it comes to their global perspective or global views, they always see or think of United States. If you ask them about the United States, they only know New York and Washington, D.C., because that's what they see on television. So we want to bring them here to say, look, Washington, D.C. and New York, it's not even a fraction of America.
And not even a clear picture.
Exactly.
You know, and we have these international students that come here.
Yeah.
And they qualify for different incentives, different minority packages, things like that. Well, we need some black minorities.
Yeah.
That's my mindset, because we got folks that are of Indian descent, Asian descent, and Filipino descent, and even Caucasian descent.
Right.
You're qualifying for minority things, but we can bring some black minorities from Africa to move into some of these educational opportunities, to build relationships, to grow, because we have as black Americans and as African, we're all Africans, right? You know, we're more African than American.
Yeah.
Even the African Americans, quote unquote African Americans in America, are more African than American.
Yeah.
Right? So we should use our institutions to help build folks from other grassroots, to entrench them in our grassroots. So now we have a shared understanding of this global struggle of supremacy that we're all fighting against, and we're all should be working together in that same pursuit. So I look at this as another opportunity for 10 young ladies from South Africa to come to historic Tougaloo College.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
Learn about our struggle here. And I can think of, you know, Tougaloo College is a great place to understand the progress and the continual struggle and process here as black Americans. Let me catch this caller here. Hello, caller. Welcome to the show. What's your question or comment?
Dekeither, I am an American, an African American, and I'm not an African. I'm not from Nigeria. I'm not from Sierra Leone. I'm not from those areas where the wealthy people suppress the poor people. So we got to understand what is the malfunction of Africa before we can call ourselves African. I'm an American with African American descent, and I think that we are fools to think that when we go to Africa, we're going to be accepted. It's fine.
Okay. Well, thank you for your comment. We got 8 minutes to go on the show.
But it's a lot of BS when we identify with those repressive regimes in Nigeria, in Sierra Leone, in Sudan, and those other areas of this country that do not have a democratic form of government. So we're ignorant about Africa, and you're ignorant about what is going on.
So as far as the continuum of struggle and progress that we've shared all across the world, you brought a wonderful picture from a young man in the Zulu tribe in your area in South Africa. And we have it hanging in our community center right in the front door when you walk in. The same struggle and supremacy that's happening in South Africa that Nelson Mandela fought for in your area, and you work closely with his wife, his widow, now is the same struggle of oppression that we endure here. I proudly say I've lived in Africa, in several parts of Africa, visited several other parts of Africa. And so I understand to a greater degree than some folks who've never had that experience. And that's why we need to, I believe every African American needs to go to Africa for more than just a tourist experience in their life, so they can expand their worldview and understand that the same issues that you're fighting against here in Mississippi, the denial of public education, the cutting of services to grassroots poor people, those are the same things that are being fought for in other places, where the rich and wealthy are trying to just dig up the grassroots for their resources, for their talents, for their skill sets. So the better we understand that struggle by spending time with each other. See, as long as they keep you isolated, as long as they can keep these folks over here, and we also, most folks in America don't even understand the scope and size of Africa. Africa is 3 times the size of America. So when you say, South Africa, it's a long ways away to get to Sierra Leone.
Absolutely.
And it's a longer ways away to get to Nigeria.
Nigeria.
It's probably from where you live to Nigeria is almost the same distance as going from here to Hawaii.
Well,
so.
While on that point, I think one day, just one day, I will come back and just talk to you about Black consciousness. So before we become Africans, before we become that, but the Black consciousness and the fact that when America had the first Black president, we didn't say we were celebrating the fact that he's a Black president, first Black. So if you look at Africa, we were celebrating that success. So I think we one day we will get an opportunity to discuss this further and talk more about.
Well, what we'll do is one day this week we'll have a Facebook Live video. You come over to the office and we'll go in detail.
Absolutely.
Where we can discuss in detail this issue on the radio. Maybe the best time. We got 5 minutes. David, go ahead and make it happen.
Let me just add one thing to it. In the conversation that Ms. Benford just brought up, and where you expounded on, that conversation came up today when we were speaking concerning the matter of South Africa and here in the United States. I understand here in the United States that we had no control over the fact that we have been named 5 or 6 different nationalities, from Negroes to Blacks to colors to African American to Negroes. All of that plays a part into where we are and who we are. But at the end of the day, we're talking about building a relationship with South Africa, and that is the point. From here, from Jackson, Mississippi. And not only that the girls will be coming here to America, that we will tend to and make sure that we look out for them, but that we're going to take a delegation from Jackson, Mississippi to South Africa. People that have never been there. So we can learn more and dialogue more about those issues that we're talking about. So, but we have to first get started. And this is the starting point.
Amazing.
And the last time they had the NGO forum in 2001, America did not send a delegation.
That's right.
So the first time ever, those white folks that traveled over there to be a part of that conference, certain areas did not allow them to speak, and it was the first time that Europeans or Caucasians were put in a predicament where they could be seen and not heard, and they would waive the right when they couldn't speak. And they told them because your government did not feel that this was important enough to create, and it was called the World Conference Against Racism, an NGO forum, and it was all countries represented, and they could not speak in workshops because they did not have that conversation. And this was grassroots organization called non-governmental organizations. That's NGOs. So it was grassroots organizations like Southern Echo and organizations out of North Carolina. All of us was there. And we got a chance to work and fellowship and meet other folks that were dealing with the same issues we were dealing with. The crazy thing about it is 2017, and these people are still fighting the same fight as we are fighting the same fight here. Absolutely. And we are still tearing each other down and degrading each other with names, and because we don't fit in the certain boxes that we like. Instead of us working together.
So let's give some announcements before.
Oh yeah, announcements. Make sure you go out tomorrow to New Dimensions, 110 Altonwood for the South Jackson Mayoral Forum, and it will be tomorrow, March 23rd, 6:30 p.m. 110 Altonwood. Friday next week, we got a couple of events that's coming up. We have economic empowerment mixer at Johnny T's from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. hosted by TCL Tax Services and Hope Credit Union. And don't forget, Councilman Stamps is going to be giving away 2 tickets that he purchased himself for Cheryl Underwood, Live and Uncut at Next Level, another Black-owned business that we are patronizing, and she's going to educate.
And we'll give them away online, so stay tuned to the Facebook
Stay
page.
tuned to the Facebook. Back to
All
you,
right,
Councilman.
as always, everyone, never let anyone put you in a position when you don't love your own people. Because when you hate your own people,
Right.
you're part of the very oppression we're trying to lift ourselves out of, whether your people be here, there, or anywhere.
Preach.
They're your people.
Yeah.
All right, we all listen together. I love you, Jackson. Love you, Mississippi. We'll see y'all next week. Yeah.